Good afternoon. I'm Michael Portis, proud superintendent of the Pequannock Township School District, and I'm honored to welcome you to the dedication ceremony for the Pequannock Township High School Veterans Wall. This magnificent structure and its surrounding landscape were built by members of our community, supported by the generosity of the community, and managed by the remarkable efforts of a committee of community members. And it was all done for you, our veterans, their family members, our friends, alumni, current students, staff members, administrators, visiting dignitaries, community members, guests, future students, and more. This wall stands as a testament to our community's appreciation of the alumni of our high school who have served in the armed forces of this great nation. It shall stand in honor of your legacy and serve as a place of reflection, celebration, and inspiration for all those who choose to visit. We thank those of you who are able to join us today and hope that our work accurately reflects our appreciation for our veterans and their families. I now ask that you turn your attention to the American Legion Color Guard for the flag raising. Thank you.
Please remove your caps and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. The flag up first.
Yes.
Present arms. Order, arms!
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Good afternoon. A few people to thank right away is our committee members. Dave Cole, Alumni, 83. Jim Van Dyke, Alumni, Veteran, 1980. Suzanne Chilton Hellier, Alumni, 1960. Jean Spillane, Veteran. Kathy Hess Scribala, Alumni, 1976. Colleen Mulhall Glenn, Alumni, 1985. Myself, Colleen Murphy McMahon, Alumni, 1978. Superintendent Dr. Michael Portis, Pequannock Township High School Principal Rich Hazler, Board of Education President Brian Senek, Board of Education Member Joseph Blummer. First of all, the beginning. The beginning of the journey started with my husband's cousin, Steve Mulligan. He's a Butler alumni. Steve, could you take a stand, please? He reached out to me and he asked me, we're in the midst of the mission honor at Butler High School, and I want to bring it to Pequannock. Get me in touch with somebody there, Colleen. So next thing was Rich Hazler. So I got him in touch with Rich. Those two worked tirelessly together. COVID hit, so things were on hold. We couldn't really do much at that point. Rich was still doing a lot of behind the scenes, getting veterans' names, photos in. So early 2023, Steve mentioned he needed help. I'm a Butler guy, he said, Carl. I don't know anybody in Pequannock. So there, I kind of came in and he handed it over to me. At that time, between Rich and himself and other people that behind the scenes, there were 225 veterans that they found for us. To date, we have 459. So within the last year, we wound up getting that many more. Last October, here at the Oktoberfest for the First Aid Squad, Dave Cole and I were there, and I said to Dave, you got to help me with this. Dave didn't hesitate. His brother is on the wall, as well as my family members that are on the wall as well. Dr. Portis, back in January, appointed our committee. So we first started with Zoom meetings. Then we had on-site, deciding how we were going to start getting the money to build this beautiful honor for our veterans. It was really the networking and recommendations from our team members, our committee members. We went to our alumni within the community, excuse me. So, you know, whether we're in the food store, and I saw Jimmy Spano, perfect example. Larry Steimel was on board immediately. So we did not get a no. Everyone we asked said yes. Astounding. We were really so astounded that so many people wanted to be included in this. It came to us that this guy in town wanted to be part of it. He wasn't an alumni, but he really wanted to be a part of it. And that would be Don Samarano. Opened arms. We were like, wow. Now, it goes back to how this was organized. Brian Senek, he's our Board of Education president. He deserves the round of applause for organizing every contractor that came, the timing of this. He had a timeline that said, give me 2 weeks. We couldn't believe it. 2 weeks? He goes, we'll be done in 2 weeks. We had a little delay with rain, but guess what? We had also a hard timeline from the superintendent and the principal that end of school, June, that project we needed to start. It needed the construction and needed to be completed before school started. We did it the week of school starting. Everything was done besides our signage. As I came, we came to visit the contractors as they were doing their work, and it was mind-blowing when some of the guys brought their kids, and their kids, just think about it, they'll be going through the doors at the high school when they start here, and they're going to look here and say, my dad built that. But guess what? Some of them were here working with their dads, and it was just unbelievable, the camaraderie of everyone here. I would like to thank, of course, my husband, They put up with a lot in the last couple. Now I know what Steve Mulligan did with, they have over 3,000 veterans in Butler, so I know what hard work went into it there. And my husband and my family, they put up with a lot. They came up with a lot of extra suggestions. My husband's an alumni here as well. And it really, everything came together beautifully. And I can't thank enough of you, the community, the support. The Jamie McCabe from the Passaic County Pipes and Drums, Nick Capotis for bringing his military Jeeps. Our favorite photographer, Ed Leonard, alumni, 1966, veteran. Liberty Warbirds Organization, along with Russ Mowry, who was a graduate in 1962, as many of you may have met in the back. He flew that helicopter in Vietnam. And I was glad he reached out to me and we put him in touch with Dr. Portis, and everything went without a hitch. We couldn't have been prouder to have this wall built, and we hope for the future of the generations to enjoy it as much as we will. Thank you very much. Dave Cole.
Now to thank the most important people of this construction, our in-kind donations. LA Design and Construction, Angela and Larry Steimel, Alumni 04. Frank Semeraro Construction Company, Inc., Don Semeraro. Solomon Ready Mix, Steve Cunningham Electrical Contractor, Alumni 1980. Wayne Electric, B&B Sustainable Landscape and Irrigation, Ben Grace. Douglas Rankin, PTHS Alumni 03. Riverside Nursery and Garden Center. Passaic County Welders, Peter Grimless, Alumni 1962. Morris Bergen Irrigation, the Carbone family, all of them alumni. Green Nature Design, the Uvinitich family, Dan Como and Sons, Unilock, Stone Tech, Spano and Son General Contracting, Jimmy Spano, Solutions Architect, Frank Massinio. Sorry if I announced anybody's names wrong. Freedom Fence, Alumni, Sal, 93, Vince, 95, Aaron, 97, Chris, 98, and Anthony, 02. Ed Leonard, Photographer, Alumni, 1966. We do have also sponsorships that we want to thank. Columbia Bank Foundation, the Holmes Family Foundation, they were Freedom Level sponsors. Liberty Level, American Legion Post 450 and Sons of American Legion Post 450, American Legion Post 242 and Sons of American Legion Post 242, Atlantic Healthcare, Chilton Medical Center, Pequannock Valley Rotary, Red, White, and Blue Level, Han Wolfson family, Lanfear family, Bono family, Kate's Way Inc., Tim and Linda Burklow, Patriot Level, the Cole family, the Hess family, the Sutherland family, Steve DePinto, class of 1981. Honor Level, the Murphy Whittick family, Thomas Ryan, PTHS, class of 1965. Pequannock Township High School, first graduating class in 1960. Panther Pride Level, Boys and Girls Club of Pequannock, Suburban Women's Club of Pumpkin Plains, Four Seasons Pest Management, the Foster family, Susan and Ken Hellier, M. John Scanlon Funeral Home, Pequannock PBA Local 172, Upper Saddle River PBA 218, Anderson Drain Works Plumbing Service, Inc., Rick Anderson, PTHS Alumni 82 and a veteran, Boy Scouts Troop 144, Paul J. Franco, combat veteran, Vietnam, the Quigley family, Doug and Barbara Cook and family, John and Lorraine Turnigursky, Pequannock Chamber of Commerce, Pequannock Township High School class of 1976. We could not thank all of them from the bottom of our heart. We could not have done this project without them. So thank you. I'd also like to introduce County Commissioner Christine Meyer, County Commissioner Tom Mastrangelo, and Assemblyman Brian Bergen. Assemblyman Brian would like to read the proclamation that was given. We also would like to thank Pequannock Unico. I miss them.
Man, you guys are special. No, we don't get in a fancy thing like this that often. So bear with me. I'm going to read the proclamation. This proclamation is from it's a joint legislative resolution from the Senate of New Jersey and the General Assembly. It's from Senator Panaccio, Assemblyman Jay Weber, and myself, and it's signed by the Senate President Nick Scutari and the Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin. The resolution reads, whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey are pleased to note that the dedication ceremony for the Pequannock Township High School Alumni Veterans Wall will be held on November 17th, 2024. And whereas the dedication ceremony bears witness to the culmination of an extensive planning and building process, one that has come to fruition due to the tireless devotion and countless individuals. And whereas spearheaded by Pequannock Township High School alumni Colleen McMahon and David Cole and Board of Education President Brian Senyak, the nonprofit Veterans Wall Committee was formed and PTHS STEM students were asked to generate designs, which then became the foundation of the monument. And whereas with local sponsorship, generous donations from the community, and in-kind donations from area contractors, this inspirational project was presented area residents with a meaningful way to express their gratitude to the PTHS alumni who've served this nation with honor and valor. And whereas within all spheres, the Pequannock Township High School Alumni Veterans Wall Committee has established a model worthy of emulation and a set of standard of excellence towards which others might strive. And whereas it is altogether proper and fitting for the members of this legislature to pause in its deliberations to affirm the importance of the Pequannock Township High School Veterans Wall to the people of Morris County and this state. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey that this legislature hereby lauds the Pequannock Township High School Alumni Veterans Wall Committee and pays tribute to the meritorious record of excellence demonstrated by all those who have contributed to this worthy endeavor. Be it further resolved that a duly authenticated copy of this resolution, signed by Senate President and the Assembly Speaker and attested by the Senate Secretary and Assembly Clerk, be transmitted to Pequannock Township High School Alumni Veterans Wall Committee. And before I hand this over, I just want to say, as a veteran myself, this is such an impressive project that you did here. It's really, it was inspiring just to walk up and see it today. I'm very, very proud of you, very proud of the town, and very proud of the school. Thank you so much.
I just also want to say we do have other proclamations. We do have a flag that was flown over the U.S. Capitol from Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill that will be presented at the luncheon today, and along with a county proclamation will be presented today at the luncheon. So we do have others. Brian couldn't make the luncheon, so we wanted to make sure that he was able to read it today here during this ceremony. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Sennick, and I'm the Board of Education President. I want to start by acknowledging our veterans that are in attendance today. We appreciate you and thank you for your service. I was honored to work on this project alongside our team of outstanding contractors that were just mentioned. This afternoon, I want to give you a brief overview of the construction process and how we arrived at this day. We broke ground in late July by removing the existing bushes and walkways. Next, the center paver circle, recessed ground lights, and concrete walkways were laid out and prepped. This was followed by construction of the 4 walls that proudly display our veterans' pictures. Concurrently, the custom metal bench was fabricated off-site and scheduled for delivery. By mid-August, we placed concrete for the new walkways and began installation of new landscaping and grass. The end of major construction was signified with the installation of the wall caps and fencing. All told, we completed construction in just about 6 weeks, including schedule impacts that were absorbed due to weather and material delays. Our team was able to get all of this work done in time to open school in September, and we installed the signage this past week. I just want to say this project would not have been possible without the help of our in-kind donors, who I want to give a round of applause. Thank you. Your contributions have not only beautified our high school, but shine as an example of the Pequannock community spirit. And now I'd like to introduce General Robert C. Kane. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Although it's a week after Veterans Day, today is a day of celebration and recognition. A solemn one of thanks, true, but nonetheless a celebration. From what we just witnessed with this Veterans Memorial dedication, here in Pequannock, we have a lot to celebrate. Thank you, Brian. That was for introducing me. That said, as many of you know, Veterans Day was originally observed as Armistice Day. The 11th day of the 11th month marked the anniversary of the end of World War I and honored its fallen. As our country and much of the world mourned, there was a lot of hope and said many times that the Great War could be the war to end all wars. In 1954, as a result of a campaign by World War veteran Raymond Weeks, Armistice Day became Veterans Day, a day to commemorate all veterans of all wars and eras, past, present, and future, living and dead. While we continue to mourn our fallen, November 11th became a day of celebration and gratitude. Of course, we know that unfortunately, World War I wasn't the war to end all wars. World War II followed less than 2 decades later. Then the Korean War, Vietnam and the Gulf War, the global war on terror, among other conflicts. It was only 3 years ago, in 2021, that we ended America's longest war, the war in Afghanistan. For many of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, the period from the beginning of the Gulf War in 1990 until 2021 represented continuous deployments and combat operations. While many served shorter periods of time, many of our veterans and their families also served entire 20 and even 30-year careers without a break from the rigors of combat and the toll it may have taken on them for their sacrifices. So during this 70th Veterans Day season, it is my privilege and I'm grateful to be here with you to help honor all the veterans who came before us, those who stood alongside us, and those who will come after us. As was already made obvious here, to our Pequannock veterans here today, and those with us in spirit, we are especially grateful for your service. Thank you. Your service and sacrifice represent the best of America. We salute you and appreciate the great costs that often come with serving wherever that may be. I was asked to provide some thoughts on growing up in Pequannock and how it shaped my leadership and military experience. During celebrations or dedications like this, you do get a chance to think about your experiences and reminisce. I thought back to growing up here and my mentors and how they influenced my leadership style and ultimately how effective I became at using things like fear and intimidation to get things done. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look that up because it's really a thing. To help with that, obviously I needed to use appropriate language to get my points across and to spur action. Of course, that means you most frequently throw around the F word or the F-bomb.
If you're really serious, that's what you do. So because I thought most of the vets would appreciate this for old times, old time's sake, I thought I'd give you all a taste of what that was like, what it sounded like. So here we go. One of my favorite F words, faith. Yeah, I know, you can all exhale now. Number one, most if not all of our vets and their families deeply understand the concept of serving for a higher purpose. I went to the Presbyterian church right across the street. Our minister had a big influence on my thinking, my decision to go to the Christian-based Grove City College, and my success in pursuing an Air Force ROTC scholarship. These things greatly affected my experience in the military. Whatever it is that works for you, great. I thank the Lord every day for the blessings the Kane family has received. As part of my leadership philosophy, faith has been a great anchor. Family. See, I threw the F word around a lot. I owe much of my leadership style and success to my mom and dad. Dad was a grammar school teacher and special needs student consultant. He showed us what empathy looked like for kids less fortunate than us. My dad, my uncle, Tony, and my father-in-law all served in the Army. Similarly, mom was a foster mom to several babies and a cafeteria lady right here in the high school. I saw her all the time, and so did my friends. Growing up on Richard Street went beyond just my mom and dad. It was one of those streets where all the moms and dads shared in raising all of us in the neighborhood, which was wonderful. This included my brother Bill and Dave, and my brother Bill followed me serving in the Marines as a pilot. As an example of what Richard Street was like, during the first Gulf War, we were stationed in Turkey, and they killed a service member, terrorist, very close to our house. And the ambassador authorized a voluntary return for the families. Katie brought the kids back. We had two boys at the time, and they were 5 and 3. And she brought them to Richard Street to stay with my mom and dad. Of course, as would happen, they lost her luggage on the trip. And so she didn't have any clothes and nothing for the kids to, use that they needed. So the neighbors got together and somehow all kinds of clothes showed up and toys for the kids that was able to hold them over for several days till they got the luggage. How that happened, I'm not sure. But I assume, and Katie assumes, that it had something to do with Mrs. McHugh, who lived across the street and whose daughter I saw earlier today. Of course, I can't imagine what it would be like in life or my career, what that would have looked like without Katie serving beside me, raising 2 great kids for over 40 years. Taking care of our families, I think, surpasses all other commitments that we make collectively. Veterans understand this. The force. Veterans understand that next to family is the force. The United States military is the most respected and capable force of its kind ever assembled. Being a part of that force, whatever role you played, understanding it and experiencing it is what it's all about. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Today, many of you, like me, will reminisce about being part of that and what it meant. My role in the Air Force essentially began when I started flying lessons about 1.5 miles away from here at the Lincoln Park Airport about 50 years ago. Somehow those early lessons ended up leading to 33 years of service. Within the force, we developed friends. For many of us, the deepest friendships of our lives. We love the camaraderie with our brothers and sisters in arms. The U.S. military is the greatest fraternity or sorority in the world. My best high school friend, Pete, God rest his soul, served in the Marine Corps and was part of this camaraderie, one that I miss personally. Many other veterans miss this camaraderie a lot and are not able to recreate that sense of belonging. This is a challenge for our country and communities to help these veterans make that kind of connection again. And finally, there was fun. Despite the sacrifice of service and the horrors of war, in some weird way, veterans are able to find ways to make service fun. Despite the challenges, we found ways to serve with a healthy dose of humor. Growing up in Pequannock was fun, not without challenges, of course. But overall, we learned how to make the best of situations and thrive, an important lesson for serving in the military. With that, I hope in some small way, I have brought what I have experienced as the values, the sense of service and commitment that veterans bring to our communities, things I learned here in Pequannock. I believe that in some way, each of our veterans bring the best sense of faith, family, the force, friends, and fun to the betterment of our community. As we are doing today, we should honor and show gratitude to them for their service. Thank you for taking your time to be here today. Honor our veterans. God bless you all. Bless our veterans, and God bless the United States of America.
At this time, the Noctives will come up. The Noctives are an a cappella group here at our high school, and they are going to perform the Alma Mater.
Pequannock, hail Pequannock, everlasting is thy, everlasting is thy name.
Thank you, students.
What a beautiful day. My name is Richard Hazler, and I am the proud principal of Pequannock Township High School. And it is with profound gratitude and deep respect that we gather here today to dedicate our Pequannock Township High School Alumni Veterans Wall, a permanent tribute to the courageous men and women from our school who have answered the call to serve our nation. At this time, if you are a veteran of Pequannock Township High School or a veteran in general, and if you can or are able to, will you please stand to be recognized? Thank you very much. It was just an honor and a privilege to see everyone here today as a community. First checking out the wall and then the helicopter, to see our veterans sharing stories with family and friends. And we're just so happy to have you back here at the high school. When I rejoined the PTHS staff as principal here in 2019, one of my goals was to reestablish a connection between our high school and the alumni that have walked these halls. Our alumni carry with them not only the memories of the past, but a connection to our future. There is so much that our current students can learn from those who have come before them. And there is no greater recognition than honoring those who have served our country in the armed forces, who have made a commitment to a life of service, patriotism, and honor. In early 2020, we began discussions on what could be done. And as Colleen says, that's when I was introduced to the Mission Honor Hope Project and to Stephen Mulligan, a Butler resident who was responsible for working on the Butler Project. We wanted something that the community could celebrate, that recognized our Golden Panther traditions and would represent the students of our past, present, and future. So what better way to do that than to involve our current students? So I invited our STEM Academy students, our seniors, and asked them to create some sketches using their knowledge of AutoCAD. And under their direction of then teacher Rob Locatell, the students generated 4 designs that became the foundation for the current project you see today. The students displayed their designs at a football game that October, and fundraising began on the project, but it became much larger than 1 or 2 people could possibly do. So Dr. Portis and I, with the help of Dave and Colleen, formed a committee, and under their direction, the rest, as they say, is history. It became a true community project, driven by love of our veterans, love for our community, and love for our nation. What an example of the spirit of this community, and quite frankly, an example for our country. Thank you to everyone who made this tribute possible, starting with our students in our 2021 STEM Academy, and to Frank Massinio from Solutions Architecture, who took our students' ideas and put this all together. And as mentioned before, thank you so much to our in-kind donors and financial donors, to the committee members, our Board of Education members, district staff, and community members. I would also like to thank Dwight and Don, who are here today, from our maintenance staff, who set up today on Sunday, set all this stuff up for us, and for Matt Shea, our Chief Technology Officer, who is here recording all of this for us so that we can have it forever. Let's give all of them a round of applause. And I know he's been thanked already. I don't know what I would do without Ed Leonard. He's photographed basically my entire career, I think. But Ed is just, he's just all about the kids, all about this community, and the support all of you have shown to our veterans defines what it means to be a Golden Panther. You know, this wall represents more than just names and photos. It embodies the values that we hold dear in our school community: courage, commitment, dedication, pride, and a sense of responsibility to something greater than ourselves. It is a testament to the sacrifices made by our alumni to protect the freedoms and opportunities we often take for granted. To the veterans here with us today, thank you. Thank you for embodying the spirit of selflessness that inspires us all. You walked these halls as students. Some of you sat in the classroom as my student, but you left them as defenders of democracy. You are not only an integral part of our school's history, but a beacon of honor for its future. I want to also acknowledge the families of our veterans. Behind every service member is a network of loved ones who provide strength, support, and sacrifice of their own. This wall honors you as well. Let this dedication serve as a reminder to all of us that greatness is not defined by personal achievement alone, but by how we contribute to the greater good. Every photo and name on this wall serves as a lesson in what it means to lead, to serve, and to persevere. As we stand before this wall today, may it inspire us to uphold the ideals these individuals so bravely defended. May it be a symbol of pride for our school, our community, and our nation. To our veterans, we honor you. To our students and future students who may be in attendance today, may you be inspired by the legacy left by those who once walked in your shoes, who represent the blue and gold, and more importantly, the red, white, and blue. May this wall forever remind us of the profound impact of those who have served, and may it strengthen our resolve to live lives worthy of their sacrifices, their spirit, and their loyalty. On behalf of Pequannock Township High School, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. May God bless America, and let's go Panthers. Thank you very much. That concludes the ceremony for today. The wall is certainly open for everyone who hasn't seen it yet and wants to enjoy it. I would like to especially thank Major General Robert C. Kane, PTHS Alum 75, for that wonderful address. And again, to all of our veterans, thank you very much for your service, your sacrifice, and to all of our alumni here today. This is your home. These doors are always open to you. So please come back. We would love to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless.